appreciate you so much for having Nigeria in mind based on the great things we've seen on the template here, and we are trusting and believing that if you will do this, if you really make sure that this comes to be, then definitely we will have a new Nigeria, as you say. Your Excellency, some of us, we are going ahead of when General Goran saying a statement in this country that the problem of Nigeria is not money. The problem of Nigeria is how to spend the money. Then some of us will not even know. But in this our generation, when we came to experience hardship, as a student, I've never experienced something scholarship in my life, neither have seen someone in my institution that experienced or is given a scholarship. But I grew up and learned that several of our leaders today were given scholarship to study even abroad, and today they emerge great leaders in this country. Your Excellency, the issue of security in this country can arrest the time we were born to this society. I can hear the level of insecurity that has died in the country, that has already continued to lead to insecurity in Nigeria. Our students now are praying to brutality, are praying to the national and all insecurity in our campuses. So we are faced with the wave of challenges. But we are happy that you are not a politician. As you say, you are a businessman. And we are trusting and believing that as you come, you will do something different. So we heard a lot from our previous leaders that they give us policies, but thereafter we won't see anything. But the Nigerian Youth are playing with you. We are going to use the students out. We have a platform that forms a network of the entire Nigerian youth. And we are ensuring you that, sir, if you speak with all the youth and you assure us that when you amount is the president of this country, all this will come to be. Sir, we will do everything. We will not leave any fair or thought, sir, but ensure that we retire the entrepreneurial politicians who are there not to protect the image and our rights of the youth of the Nigerian students and ensure that we demand. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Great Nigerian youth, I thank you very much. First and foremost, on the issue of scholarship, let me give you a little bit of my educational policy. That every Nigerian youth or child have the right to go to school. It is not going to be a privilege. The essence, if you're listening carefully when I said that the future of Nigeria, you are the key to the future of Nigeria. And what does that translate? It means that education will be a thing that is of right. Every Nigerian child will have the opportunity to be educated. Currently, I tell you that the problem we have is quandamania and planlessness. We have enough money to educate every youth, to give you grants in the university where your parents don't need to bear the labor of training you. It should be a thing that government must be responsible to. Scholarship, going abroad to do to school, as far as I'm concerned, if we're able to equip our universities properly, if we're able to pay our lecturers very well, if we're able to have programs that will encourage and bring about quality education, what do we call abroad in the first place? If you are listening to my citation, I schooled in University of Jos. I had my LLB from University of Jos. I'm a homeboy. I didn't go overseas to school, but I can tell you today, there is no legal conference anyone can withstand me. I speak and I lecture those of them who have schooled overseas and who live in England or Europeans or Americans. But who am I? Nigerian made. Nigerian made. So what we shall do is to ensure that we have qualitative education. We have to go back to status quo ante, what we are used to being before. When I was in the university, we had great and erudite professors came from Cambridge to give us lectures in the University of Jos. Like our erudite Aslim Elias, Professor Machowski, great legal luminaries. That was what Nigeria was at that time. We didn't even have to, I had a scholarship to go overseas. I didn't take it because I felt studying law in Nigeria was much, much better than going to America or to Europe. And yes, today, I'm a good international lawyer. I have received awards severally on legal balance. I lecture the so-called people in abroad in public lectures. So what are we talking about? My policy will be inward. We shall look inward. We have to clean up our academic system. We have to revitalize it. We have to inject it. Because I know the cancer that is eating up our nation today have also eaten up our educational system. That is why you find out several private institutions all over the country, and there is inequality in standard of not only academics, but social standard. Those of you who are in public school are second rated. If your parents are not politicians or have not made enough money, you cannot even attend a private university or private school in Nigeria. But one thing I want to say is this. My administration will standardize education in Nigeria. Why? Because I'm a product of public school. In fact, there were no private schools those days. We had the government colleges. Government put up enough subventions. And the universities were pride to our nation. With great professors, eminent lecturers. Why? Because they are well paid and they are proud of what they are doing. So I will not encourage going abroad, but I will bring the best out of you, my students, by ensuring that our schools are well equipped. And those of them today who have money to say they have private, that since they have such millions of naira to spend, we will equate them and attach them to the public school so that they can bring their millions and then balance what the government can put up so as to get a standardized education. And what that means that a private university must be attached to one of the premier universities. And then they can take endowment. And by so doing, we shall have equality on educational standard. And then we will not be looking outside to go to Ukraine. Now there is crisis in Ukraine, and we have more than 50,000 Nigerian students. Come on, it's appalling. Yet we have a lot of good universities in the country, only because they are not well funded. They are abandoned. All that will be a thing of the past. On the issue of security, I've made it clear, and I'm going to say this again. Part of my employment program, first, the problem we have today in the country on insecurity is based on primarily one, unemployment. When there is unemployment in the nation, what do you expect? The youths will do whatever they can to survive. Old men do not go to jump across wall. They don't have the legs, even if they want to. Neither do they go to do kidnapping. How will they start? Where will they start from? So, majority of what we find today is as a result of unemployment. And my national program on infrastructural development and rehabilitation is going to handle that. Because every Nigerian youth will have a job. As long as you finish your school, or you don't want to continue going to university, and you want to work, there shall be a place for every, I repeat, every Nigerian youth who is not employed. An emergency politician. Neither am I a politician looking for what to eat. I have done this even with my private organizations. And I'm bringing about that wealth of experience, but first and foremost, sacrifice. Because for us to get to this destination we're talking about, we have to sacrifice. That is why I said, I'm part of rebuilding a new nation is born, a total overhaul of our national infrastructures, our highways, our bridges, our federal hospitals. All these need to be rebuilt. And who are those going to do it? Our Nigerian youth. We have a lot of engineers roaming the streets. And yet we'll go and give contract to a Lebanese man or a Syrian, any person who has a fair skin, Bature, who says, oh yes, they can do it better. And then when they come in, they will now bring all their people from their home country and even deny the Nigerians the job they ought to have taken. Now all that has to end. You are the one that will build your country so there will be no unemployment. Our national program on agriculture is the same thing because we restore back the silos and the marketing boards where everyone that have will encourage our farmers nationwide, because once you provide security, no one will go and be harassing our people. Security, most of you Nigerian youths who also want to join the security agencies will be well paid. If we don't give out fat contracts to politicians, we have enough money to rule our country. We have enough money to provide everything we are looking for. What is sapping your money and making all of you making them to go and borrow is because they are careless in expenditure. It's likely to somebody who makes $100. I mean, I know that my brothers here who are businessmen can tell better. And then you spend $90 servicing yourself, eating and drinking. How then can you pay your children's school fees? How can you cater for your home? That is the case of Nigeria. But now, we are going to cut our coat according to our size. Governance will be a trimmed government. As president of Nigeria, you will see 1 kilometer convoy. You will see a president who will spend hundreds of millions of naira servicing State House, when our kids can barely go to school. No, that will not happen. Or give a contract in billions of dollars to our friends, because they are the ones now who put us there in power, who pay back. There is no payback in my government. The payback is to Nigerian people. Because our system is going to have you. They say turn by turn. Now it is your turn. The turn of the Nigerian youths, the turn of the deprived Nigerians, the forgotten widows among our people, those of them who cannot afford to live. Now it is their turn. And that's what I stand for. Thank you.